Hello everyone, welcome to Rimworld. It's a colony simulator game, and it's going to be furry themed, and we're gonna try and tell a story. It's going to be a little bit different than from my Stardew Valley series. It's going to be less yappy about life and going to be more yappy about in-game, and um, I created a scenario. It's going to be furry themed, and we're going to follow the journey of our three main characters, Alex, Graves, and Doc. And yeah, so it starts off as three good friends found themselves in a crashing spaceship while on a trip. Desperate, they cram themselves in one escape pod just before the ship explodes. After a grueling and painful crash, they find themselves in the wild. Are they alone? Will their bonds be enough for them to survive? So, let's find out. So, the game has officially begun, and we find ourselves in the middle of nowhere. This is pretty much randomly generated. I chose a random location as well, so I don't know what to expect. Things may get weird, things may get difficult. Well, we may survive or we may die. I don't know. But this journey is all about these three amigos. And we will, try and like have them survive as much as possible. Um, I know it's going to be very difficult, especially where we started. Not exactly the most ideal. I normally hate playing in the desert, but this is where we landed, and this is where we'll play. So first thing that I need to do is to survey the land, and this is the first thing that I look for. These growing zones, the rich soil. Um, it's really important to have a good source of rich soil because it grows food a lot quicker. So that's always good. And we do need a little bit of resource and a little bit of protection. And considering that this is the ocean, I think it's safe to say that no bandits are gonna come from the ocean. So, well, one could assume. I don't know. I actually haven't played this game for a very, very long time. So, I hope my logic makes sense. But, anyways, we're going to be very, very limited with our resources early on. So, we might need to commandeer some of these locations and make them our temporary base for a while. So, let's begin. First thing that we need to do is we need to make a stockpile for them, and then I'll start introducing our main protagonists here. So we have Doc. Let's start with Alex. So we have Alex here, the gardener. Um, he's a coma child when he was young, and then so a childhood accident put Alex in a coma. He didn't wake up until he was in his late teens. His body never recovered from the years of inactivity, but people tend to take pity on him when they hear his story. So, he's a bit of a, you know, someone that pities on, but he's grown to be a gardener. Perhaps, when he was young, he always finds himself alone, but he never felt, alone. Well, when he's alone, he spends most of his time in the garden, maybe. I kinda pre-made this, but I also kinda edited a few things, so he's gay. Um, you'll notice that a lot. So, alright, so that's Alex down, and we'll introduce the others later because we need to start, playing the game. So, Alex is not particularly good at shooting or melee, so, oh, Graves is a great shooter, so let's make him equip the revolver. And Doc is a little bit good at shooting, but since he is our doctor, we don't necessarily want him to get sick or be injured. So I think our main guys would be Graves and Alex. But we can equip this. They'll be our main guys, and let's make sure that everyone has a gun. And let's start hauling stuff to this location. So I think I already did that. So they're gonna start just picking up stuff, and let's start cutting some trees down because we really need somewhere to stay and some place to stay, and this might be our location over here. So let's just build that, and then also let's go claim it as well, because it will be very difficult otherwise, and we'll need some sort of like basic supplies or like food resource, right? So we can build a growing zone here. We can see Alex the gardener immediately going to work. That's good to see. So let's grow some stuff here. Let's grow some rice, because rice gains a benefit if it's grown in rich soil, which we've discussed earlier. This is rich soil, so let's grow some rice here, and then also some corn over this side. Because who doesn't like corn, right? I love corn. If I could eat it every day, I would. And that should be it for now. We'll sort out the other plants later. So if these things are left out in the open, they will deteriorate really quickly. So let's just build a roof over them for now, just so that things can get moving. So let's just leave them a bit so that they can build stuff. Now it's not outdoors, so it's not deteriorating as quickly. I mean, they're still outdoors, but like they're not gonna deteriorate as quickly, is what I meant. So we can definitely, repurpose this. I'm not sure what we'll make out of it, but yeah. So as we can see, Graves is a little bit of a hard handyman. So he's like he's pretty buff, like he's pretty big, and the reason being is that when he was a kid, he was a space cadet. Growing up on a rural farm world leaves little opportunity for excitement and adventure. So when the Royal Fleet began a recruiting program on his home planet, Graves threw himself, his hoe, and cattle prod to took up arms. Oh my goodness, that is a very difficult sentence. For the crown. He served on the interplanetary super destroyer HMS Thunderchild. Oh my goodness. So, Graves is a cadet for the, well, used to be for the HMS Thunderchild. Maybe that will play a role in the story later on. And he's also a ranger. Graves tracked animals and people for a wide range of clients. Oh my goodness. He became adept at reading spoor, finding food in the wild, and stalking prey. So, that's interesting. Graves, a little bit of a darker background there, I think. I think that's fair to say. Anyways, so people are just meandering around. We normally want to put them to work as much as possible. And what we'll need now is some sort of energy supply. Maybe it's a bit early, but we do need it. I think we should have some spare components here. No? No? I don't see any components here. So I guess we didn't start with any. Yeah, that's very odd. But you know, we have a little bit of a shack going on here. I think we can turn this into a room. Maybe another one here. You know, it's going to look a little bit rustic and you know, weird, but I think I like that. I think a lot of people play Rimworld like very. Oh, I did not even see this. Alex tried to woo Doc by jokingly half complimenting his fighting methods. Doc became aroused and agreed to become Alex's lover. Alex and Doc now want to sleep together. Consider assigning them a double bed. I just built beds here. So maybe I could just deconstruct them and build a big bed. All right, let's deconstruct them for now, and then let's try to make a big bed for them. Maybe quickly because they're about to sleep very soon. So let's prioritize building that bed for them. And let's assign this to Graves. So, who is Doc anyway? Doc is a colony kid. Doc was born the child of 2 doctors in a small colony. Because of his parents, he was always interested in science and medicine. Doc never really got along with other children, and as a result, became withdrawn and unsociable. And when in his adulthood, Doc was a doctor on a starship. He was a brilliant surgeon and dabbled in research of his own. However, he was quite reclusive and never had the best bedside manner. So I think that makes perfect sense that he would fall in love with Alex, right? Because Alex is also a bit awkward, a bit introverted, I suppose. Maybe not introverted, but like, you know what I mean? Maybe they formed that connection between them and, you know, they became lovers that way. Anyways, things are moving along. I don't know where Alex is. Alex is just walking around. I'm not sure what you're doing there, buddy. I think you should go to sleep, Alex. Okay, good. He's going to sleep now. So, a little bit difficult here because we have a very, very limited resources when it comes to wood and stuff. So, I think Alex is going to be very busy building or growing, sorry, a lot of trees. We need some trees. Can he even plant them? No, he cannot. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you know, how to deal with this. But I think we need to expand over here. You know? And I think the first thing that we need to do is build a research bench. So I think this might be a perfect place for a research bench. I'm not quite sure. Does it fit? No, it does not fit. I think this can be a room. I don't think we need to be like too particular with the orientations and things, because we need someone to stay here. I think this can be like a kitchen or something. And you know, let's start like closing these up and maybe like build some additional rooms here. Maybe this can be Graves' room. And this can be like their open area place. Let's add in a door over here as well. We're using a lot of resources for this, so hopefully this is worth it. I think we can deconstruct these things. Does it provide any sort of beautifulness? No. But yeah, okay. So things are moving so far, maybe a little bit too quickly, to be fully honest. But I think we're keeping track of things. So we can reinstall it here. We can add this here so that Graves can use that room. And then once Alex wakes up, we can move that there. There you go. A little bit of basic room setup now. I think we need some energy production because we will need to start building some stuff. Alright, I'm getting a little bit flustered here. I think there's a lot of things going on too quickly. So let's just close this off for now. I think this is a very, very large room. And let's deconstruct these things. Right. So we have 2 entrances and 2 exits here. And then we also will need like a nice old research bench. I think we can just plop it down here. Right? Or maybe... Sure, why not? Let's just put it there. Okay, so we now have like an open place here, or like some sort of shelter ready. This will be our like kitchen area. So you know, we're gonna repurpose this place as our home. And we have immediately run out of wood. I hope we can still build this. No, we cannot, so we will need to cut down some trees. And we actually might need a little bit more because we need to build all sorts of stuff. So I think a wind turbine might be best for now, for us, because of our situation. I'm not sure if I'm going to be expanding here. I think we have plenty of space here already, so I think a wind turbine here wouldn't hurt. Sure. And it will be a while before we get some other energy stuff going along, so this will do for now. And also, just to make sure that, you know, we live on a relatively decent place. Oh my goodness, it's 12,000. Oh, 12 sandstone, not 12,000. I'm not sure where that came from. What is this? Limestone polished stone floor. Alright. So I think what we'll need to do first is make some limestone. So I hope they cut down the trees. Yep, they did. So let's just turn that off. Let's go chop some trees down. And yeah, that should set us up for a little bit of initial resources. And I think we're doing great. So Doc is asleep again. Graves is still working. What a workaholic here. And you know, I think they're thriving so far. So Alex has grown all of these crops already. We'll start considering making other fields. I think because we're in a desert, I think we can always plant crops all year long. So that's a good thing. How do I check? I know there's a way to check it. Okay, so year round, so we can grow plants all year. So that's very good. That'll make things very convenient for us. Because I normally play in biomes that have, you know, seasons. But I think for this one, we're just going to be mainly playing like in the summer vibe. So expect a lot of heat coming in during summer. I think it's still like spring, so yeah, the worst is soon to come, I think. So let's go plant some stuff here as well. This will be basically like our big garden. We'll want some medicine growing, and hopefully to sell in the future. So let's go plant some heal roots. And let's go plant some... Oops. Let's go plant some additional plants here. Maybe we can... So we need some source of money. Maybe it's a bit early to start talking about this, but we need some source of money. So heal roots is a good thing. Whenever we get like a surplus of them, that's good to keep. But we also need some stuff that we can sell to other people, which cotton plants can work for now. And Oh my goodness, I'm just leaving all the medicine outdoors. Maybe I could move that indoors at some point, but for now, let's make this, and let's also a butcher's table. Here we go. We're using a little bit of our metal, but that should be fine. We'll try to trade some for some in the future. So there you go. Alec is already in work. I think this might be a little bit too far from everything else. I wanna build like a stockpile zone or something. Maybe around here might be good. So let's get started on that, but maybe not as well. I think it's still fairly early. I think we can just wait for them to build this. Graves, can you start working on this? No, they're missing wood. Maybe we need to cut down more trees. There aren't a lot, honestly, so I'm a bit worried about this. But here we go. We really need to unlock the research that allows us to plant more trees. I mean, Alex is pretty good. Like, Alex can plant them down. It's just, you know, we need the trees to cut down. So, lots of stuff going on, but this is the early game. It is quite difficult in the beginning, in my opinion at least. But it is actually pretty exciting too. So yeah, Alex is gardening here, so Alex seems pretty happy. Very low expectations, and got some loving. Oh my goodness, it's furries. So early. Getting along very well. Minor passion, initial optimism, spacious interior. Very impressive dining room. Okay. But there's a table over here. Why didn't they use the table to eat? One thing I want about this game are windows. Like, where are the windows? Like, why do I need to build like a lamp just to get some light in here? Why don't they just build windows? It's like a wall. It's like a prison. I'm not sure if there are mods for that, but I think there should be. You know. But yeah. All right. So. One colonist is idle. Doc isn't doing anything. So let's assign him to some additional work. He should be the one researching, you know? But he can't really do that. So if he can help out on anything else, that would be great. So maybe mining. Maybe you can start mining. Doc, can you do that? And as much as you know, useful what you're doing is, Graves, just I think there's a lot of other stuff that we can prioritize on doing, you know, other than okay. Why are you eating it over there? There's like, we have a table over here. We don't necessarily have guest beds, so I think we can make this like a guest bed for now, like in the future. But oh, that's wood again. That's wood. Let's not use any wood right now. Okay, good. They're starting to build the turbine. Oh, I'm really sorry. I don't have any beds for you guys. Oh, you botched it. How Graves, resources are very important. Don't waste any of them, please. Are we using some of the steel that we have to repair these? I don't think we should be doing that. Go cut some. Oh, we'll never do plant cutting. Alex, I think you really need to start working on these, because we need some infrastructure over here. And I can't let you just, you know, cut down or plant some plants. We need some supplies, really. Can you keep going? Can you cut down some more plants for me? Thank you so much. There you go. Maybe that should be enough for Graves. Oh, resting. So Graves is tired already. So, alright, go to sleep. Go to sleep, everyone. Go to sleep. I know it's dark. I know. Right. So, everyone's asleep for now, including the guests outside. I'm so sorry about that. Ooh, what is this? Echeveria plant. A cultivated succulent forming a rosette native to arid shrublands. While it's not as beautiful as other plants, this plant has a very long lifespan. Very interesting. So, morning rises in our little village, or little colony, I would say. Um, Doc immediately goes to work on the components. Once we get this research table up and running, I'll put you to work, Doc. You should not be doing that. Graves should be doing that. You're more of a nerd. I'm sorry, Doc, but oh, and speaking of, Graves is actually working on it right now. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just flying all over the place. But yeah. Let's see here. We need tree sawing because we need all the wood that we can get. So I think we can start on that. Another thing that I am considering is oh, we already have stone cutting. I did not know that. So let's build that right now. So let's build production because we do need a little bit of actually maybe not now. I think we need some food cooking. So I do see that. I do see that there's like a mad animal that wants to eat us. Where are you? Alex, Graves, run over here, please. There's a mad rat that wants to eat us. There you go. It's dead. Graves shot it. I didn't even pay attention to that. I was like building something over here. Awesome work from Graves there. Just I think it was a one shot. I didn't hear any additional gunshots. So there you go. Graves is an amazing shot apparently. So they need some recreational activity. So why not just build something like this over here? That should be fine. And now that we have that setup up and running, we can start hunting. Let's go hunt all of these. Hunt all of these. I'm not quite sure if this affects the world or something, but maybe that's too much. Let's just hunt the iguanas for now. There you go. Everyone's asleep, and I think that's a good first session. I think that's a good first episode. For these guys, you know. Oh, Alex and Doc are making love again. I think that is the perfect place to end this session. So the group of travelers is now passing by, and yeah, thank you so much for watching the first episode of I think I'm calling it what did I call it? Stranded in the Barren. This will be my first playthrough in Rimworld. I honestly don't know what to expect. But yeah, I don't have a consistent schedule for this yet, so it will just come out as it does. I'm not sure how the schedule will work with Stardew Diaries, but we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great rest of your day.